video is going to be my November TBR. We're going to be picking from the Cauldron jar again. We're going to be picking some TBR prompts. I figured I would use my Cauldron still because I am still technically filming this in October. It's still October. It's October 28th. So I wanted to take advantage of using the Cauldron jar again because I didn't want to just use it once. You know, I did pay for it. I mean, it was only $5, but it's so cute that I wanted to use it again. And also I'm wearing my Ghosty Bat hoodie that I got from Comic-Con last year. I didn't really find that much apparel this year, but I think you guys will find out in my Bridge Kingdom vlog. Because yes, spoiler alert, I did finally read the entire Bridge Kingdom series and I am totally fucking obsessed with it. But at least I crossed off that series off of my 25 and 2025 list. So yeah, but I didn't really find that much apparel this time when I went to Comic-Con. So anyway, let's get into the video. I just wanted to say that there is quite a few November new releases that are coming out that I'm super excited for. So we will talk about those in the end. I'm hoping to pick at least 8 prompts. I might start with 6 and see where the wind takes me. So we're just going to shake it up and see what we get. I'm pretty sure I put back 2 of the prompts that I wasn't able to get to because I wasn't able to, you know what, it might be helpful if I actually tell you guys which books I wasn't able to read. So I didn't get to Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow yet again this spooky season, but I am working through my spooky season TBR right now. I think I'm on number 7 at this point. That was on my Halloween TBR, so I think that's pretty good. And I still have one more after that, but it's like a short novella, so it's not even that long. So I didn't get to that one. And I didn't get to The Honey Witch by Cindy L. Shields. I'm going to try and possibly read this one before the month is over. I mean, we only have 4 more days, but it is a really short book. So I'm hoping that I can, let me just see if I can, I don't want it to automatically adjust brightness while I'm filming this because I think then the dimmer won't go on when I'm filming. So I like to see myself when I'm filming because I'm that vain. And then of course I didn't get to Billy Summers yet again because why would we? So I'm going to try my damnedest to read this book before the year is over. Let's just say that because every time I put it on my TBR, I end up not reading it. But overall, we got to mostly all the books that I wanted to read on my Halloween TBR except for those 3. So I'm feeling really proud of myself right now. And I did stick to my TBR completely like I said I was going to when I filmed my October TBR. I said I wanted to stick to it and not mood read this month because I kind of mood read the last week of September. And I also mood read for the entire month of August for my birthday month. So I'm like, I kind of want to stick to my TBR for this month. Okay, we already shook this up. So now we're going to go ahead and pick the first prompt. I don't really need to close my eyes because this, you know, is, you know, not clear anyway. Like the other jar that I have. Okay, we got a tan one. By the way, again, the colors do not mean anything. Okay, the first prompt that we got, you know what? This might be perfect for this one because I do have a book that the author kind of intimidates me. So the first prompt is author that intimidates me. I still haven't read any of his books yet, but I think I'm going to use this one for this prompt because also the book kind of intimidates me too. But I've heard nothing but freaking amazing things about this book. And my coworker never stops talking about this. And I feel like somebody else that I talked to recently, I'm not sure if one of my other coworkers read this, but they said like, yeah, that book is amazing. It's The Will of the Many by James Angleton. I've heard nothing Islington, I think. This is also on my 25 and 2025 list. Why is it dimming? I don't know how to figure out this damn computer. Hold on. Just give me a second. It doesn't affect the video whatsoever when I'm filming it. Anyway, so I'm going to use this one for this prompt. I think that this is the perfect one to use because this is a bit of a chonker. But I've been dying to get to this book. I mean, honestly, when I actually pick it up, it doesn't feel as heavy as I thought. It is like 600 pages, but I heard that like this is pretty much unputdownable, and all I've heard is that this is one of the best books everyone has ever read for the people that have actually read it. So, and I feel like this is the perfect time to read this book because the sequel is coming out in November. So I'm going to tell you guys about that one and when it comes out, when we go through all the new releases for November. Because like I said, there's quite a few that I'm super excited for. So this one is going to be the first one on the TBR, which is great because I feel like if I read that, and also it's a huge accomplishment, but also it's on my 25 and 2025, which is even more perfect. So let's go ahead and pick another one. So I think at this point, I think I've read 10 off my 25 and 2025. I would like to add 2 this month. I don't know if that's going to be Billy Summers and Book of Azrael, but we'll see. We will see what we get. Okay, let's go ahead and pick the next prompt. Okay, let's go ahead and pick from, I mean, we could just pick from here. Okay, we got a pink one. Let's see what this one says. This one says mermaids. Again, I'm picking all old prompts. I mean, what else is new? I don't think I have anything that fits the mermaids prompt. I don't think I have anything that has mermaids in it. Which is crazy because I would like to read something with mermaids at some point. I did read Somewhere in the Deep, I think, last month. And that one did have mermaids in it. We're just going to pick a different one. This one says cowboy romance. Why? No, we're not doing that. Okay, let's go ahead and pick one more from here. And if we don't get a good one, we're just going to shuffle them up again. I think this one might possibly be a new one. Oh, 25 and 2025. Perfect. Because I put that in the jar, put it back in the jar from last month because I want to keep on drawing this anyway so I can work on my 25 and 2025 list. Because we only have 2 more months in the entire year before the year is over. So, should we just say Billy Summers and call it a day? Because honestly, if I don't get to the Book of Azrael, I'm just going to read this. Because I would have time to actually read this at this point. And to be honest, I need to stop talking about this book. I'm like literally getting so sick of even looking at it at this point that I need to just get it off my list. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this one on my 20, because then if it's on my 25 and 2025, I need to read it. So that's 2 more books off of my 25 and 2025. Maybe I'll just start Book of Azrael at the end of the month because I know that the new one actually came out today when I'm filming this video because it's new release Tuesday today because it's October 28th. And it just came out today. So I need to catch up and actually read that series. But like I said, I ended up reading the Bridge Kingdom series this month. And what's so crazy is that I read it at the absolute perfect time, you guys, because the 6th book, The Tempest Blade, or The Tempest Blade, not The Tempest, it came out on Audible. But it's the physical copy doesn't come out until April because it's not being republished until April, or I think it's republished. But people said that she wrote these books like years ago. They're just like coming out like, you know, as like a new release. I don't really know how it works, but okay, I got 2, so I'm just gonna take the yellow one, I guess. We'll see what it says. But so I've been listening to that one on Audible because they're all Audible exclusive audiobooks, and Audible gets, they're the only ones that get them, and it's only available to listen to on Audible right now because it's an Audible exclusive, and that way I can read it before it comes out in April. And honestly, this one is so perfect to read or listen to on audio because it has all of the characters' voices in it, and all of the characters' voices from each of the books, I love their voices. So yeah, we're not doing that. Let's pick a different one. That one says sports romance. We're not doing that. Maybe I should have picked the blue one. Maybe this is the one I touched too. Okay, this one says Kings and Queens. We should definitely be able to do this one. We have quite a few that would be able to fit this prompt. I'm thinking, I mean, Brimstone would fit it perfectly, obviously. The Rebel and the Rose, I think, has Kings and Queens in it. Grim and Oro does, Between Two Kings. um, which is the sequel to The Kiss of the Basilisk. I think I'm going to do this one, though, because I'm pretty sure this one has kings and queens in it. So we're going to pick this one. This is also a new release. So, funny story about this one. So this one is called The Princess Knight by Kate Jacobs. I had no idea about this book until I met this lovely author at Comic-Con. She was just walking around with her special edition in her hands, and she was wearing this beautiful belle costume. And I was like, oh my God, I love your belle costume. I was like, where did you get that book that's in your hand? She's like, I wrote it. And I was like, no way. So she told me about that it was coming out, like literally, I think it came out last week. I haven't gotten to it yet because I wanted to stick to my spooky season TBR before October was over. I was thinking about possibly squeezing this in because she had an event that she did last week in my town, and she was doing a signing because she's from Long Island, and she spells her name the exact same way as me, and her name is Caitlin. So I'm like, it's destiny, and also she's brunette. So she was such a sweetheart, and I'm like, I 100% need to pick up her book to support her. So I'm definitely reading this one in November. Like, if nothing else is read, this is getting read. Like, it's already a given that I'm going to read this one because she's so sweet. And, you know, since I picked it up, I need to read it, obviously. So that is the third book that's going on the November TBR. Okay, let's go ahead and shuffle some more. Hopefully we get a new prompt or something. We'll see. At least we've been able to fit most of the prompts, picking the ones that we are getting. But let's go ahead and pick a different one. Okay, let's pick this blue one. Hopefully this is a newer one. Okay, spinner wheel pick. That's not a bad one, actually. Okay, so let's go ahead and count how many books are on the cart, and then we'll see which number we get. There are a couple that I would like to get to. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I might just do this row. Let's see. 14, 15, 17, 18. Wait, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Okay, 34. Honestly, that's really not as many as I thought that were on the rack. I mean, on the rack, on the TBR cart. Okay, spinner wheel, and it's 1 to 34. I don't want text wheel. What? Number spinner wheel. Oh my goodness. God, technology. All I'm trying to do is highlight the beginning. Oh my God, Guys, you know I work at Apple, right? Numbers. Oh my God. Lord Jesus. Okay, 34. We finally got there, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and spin the wheel and see which one we get. I haven't done this prompt in a while. And actually, the last time I got it, I totally forgot where I put it, and I didn't realize I put it back in the jar. Okay, so we got 18. Let's see that might be one I don't want to read right now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. No, we're not doing that. Let's spin one more time. If we don't get one I want, I might just do the top rack here. The top shelf, whatever it's called. Okay, we got number 4 or 3? 4. I don't want to read that one either. I don't. Hold on. Hold the phone. I don't think I can replace it with anything because there's, like I said, there's so many new releases and fall books that I want to read before November is over. Because for me, December is winter time, Christmas time, you know? So I like reading all of like my fall reads at the end of September, October, and November. So let's just do 1 through 13. Sorry to disappoint, but I want to see what I get if I just do the top shelf. Okay, let's see. Sorry if this is cheating, but it's my TBR. Nobody watches these videos anyway. I think I'm getting 12. Yes, I got 13. Perfection. This is one I want to read anyway. So, we bent the rules a little bit, but it's okay. Nobody cares anyway. So, the spinner wheel pick we got was The Autumn Leaf Bookshop by Kay Michaels. Now, one of my book besties, Becca, one of my best friends that I've been friends with a long time, lent this book to me. This is also on Kindle Unlimited, though, so I might just read it on Kindle Unlimited, but she did lend me the book, which was really nice. This is actually by one of the book besties that are in one of our Facebook book groups. I'm not sure if it's the book club one that I'm in with her and our other friend, or if it's in another one that's like more of a bigger like public group. But anyway, she just read this, and I really want to read this before the fall is over, so I'm going to read this in November. It's called The Autumn Leaf Bookshop, and this one actually got published in, like, Barnes, in Target, so this one's actually a really big pick as well, and she even put a, like, personalized note in the front. What the hell is on it? It says, Becca, happily ever autumn. That's so cute. So I love how she personalizes it. So yeah, very excited to read this one. I'm very excited that I got that one. So let's go ahead and add that to the TBR. Okay, can we get a fall prompt? Can we get a fall one? Would that be okay? Because I put quite a few fall prompts in here and we haven't gotten one yet from this TBR video. Sorry, I don't know why this is falling already. My TBR loves to bother me, so... She's like, read me, bitch. Okay. Let's go ahead and pick another prompt. Let's go ahead and pick this one. Okay, I got two again. Let's do the yellow one. I think this one might be a fall one. Dark Academia. I think I know exactly which one I want for this. Because I don't think any of the other books on here are Dark Academia except for this one. And this one is a new release that's coming out very soon. I actually almost forgot to add this one to my November TBR, and I'm like, wait, is that coming out in November? And then I looked it up, and it is. I think originally it was supposed to come out in October, but it got pushed back to November, which honestly was not a big deal. So the next one the one that I'm going to read for this prompt is Eternal Ruin by Tejas Gurma, and this is the second book in the Immortal Dark trilogy. The first book is called Immortal Dark. I don't even know why the hell this wasn't on my want to read when I read this book. I don't understand what happened with this. I really don't. I already read this book. I really don't understand. Because it got added to... I don't understand. It didn't get added to my read books this year, right? No, it didn't. I really don't understand what happened. Because I never selected this book on my list, and for some reason, it unrated it and took it off my read list, which makes no sense whatsoever. So I have no idea what the hell happened to it before. Oh my god. It's literally right. I don't understand what is happening because it's literally right on my list here. Already read. Okay, never mind. We're going to read this book as the Dark Academia prompt. So that's fantastic. Again, I will talk about it when we talk about our new releases that I'm going to read in this video. Okay. I mean, in my November TBR, not in this video specifically, because we're just picking the TBR, duh. But yeah, did I say that this is my first video that I'm filming on my new MacBook Air? I forgot to say that. I got a new computer. Okay, we got Male Author. You know, honestly, The Will of the Many would have been perfect for that. I don't know if I have any other ones that are by... Actually, I do. I am lying. I do have one by a male author, actually. And this is going to be a buddy read with me and Becca. We actually buddy read three books in October. So this is perfect because we're going to buddy read this one in November. So we're going to buddy read Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I've been wanting to read this book for a long time, and I think it's absolutely perfection to read this book in November. I think the cozy vibes are going to be cozying, and I think that this is like the perfect book for that. I've heard this book is really, really good, and I feel like it's like the cozy fantasy that I want to read. It says a novel of high fantasy and low stakes, which that's the kind of cozy fantasy I really like. Or it has to have like some kind of stakes or I'm going to be bored. Like The Spell Shop, perfection. Encyclopedia of Fairies, not perfection. But anyway, I was actually supposed to buddy read this with the person that gifted this to me, but we're no longer friends. So I'm buddy reading this with my other book bestie that I've been friends with for a long time. So anyway, we're not going there. So that was 6. I think we're going to pick 2 more because I want to see if I can get, some kind of fallish kind of prompt. I'm sorry if I haven't, but I don't know what is happening. Maybe we should just pick it off the top and stop mixing them. Let's just pick one of the pink ones. I think this one is a new one. Series on 2025 list. Honestly, the only one that would be the Book of Azrael. Am I gonna have time for that one though? That's literally the only one because everything else is a new release or something that I want to read in the fall. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 2. Because if I put the Book of Azrael on this list, then I will have 20 books on my TBR in November, which is kind of a lot, but I might just add it because that's literally the only book that would fit this prompt, and it is a series on my 25 and 2025 list. I don't know if I'm not going to get to this, though, or if I'm going to get to this until December. I might try and pick a different... Let's just try and pick a different prompt and see what we get. I'm just going to get a pink one. Sorry, not sorry. Thriller. Really, the only thriller on this list is, Billy Summers. Let's try one more time. Sorry. Pirates. We don't have anything with pirates, I don't think. Alright, let's go ahead and pick a different prompt. If not, then I'll just use these series on my 25 and 2025 because that is a newer prompt. So let's go ahead and shake it up some more and let's go ahead and pick a prompt. Hopefully this is not an old one or I will tear my hair out. New York Times bestseller. Do I have any New York Times bestsellers? Because I put this one in the jar constantly too because it's such an easy prompt, but I'm not going to do that one. Sorry, not sorry. All right, what does this one say? Angels? No. What's this one? Oh my god, we just drew pirates again. We are not drawing pirates again. Guys, I'm sorry. Like, this is not ideal. We're going to pick one more time. Let's put these back in here because I might be running out of newer prompts already, which makes no sense whatsoever because I literally just refreshed this jar at the end of September. I shouldn't have to be picking so many old prompts still. All right, let's go ahead and pick this one. This one says seasonal pick. Okay, that is a good one because this one I picked last month and I didn't get to the one I wanted to read, but I think I know which one I want to use for this time because it's literally like the only other one that I would want to read during the fall and during the fall season is going to be Falling Like Leaves by Misty Wilson. This one, Becca also gave me to borrow as well. I think this one is also on Kindle Unlimited. I'm not sure. But this one was supposed to be YA, but it's not as YA as Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice, which we did buddy read together as well. And it was a very YA book. So this one I'm going to be picking for this prompt. And I would have picked it if we got leaves on the cover, but that's okay because this one fits seasonal pick perfectly. So that is going to be, I believe, the the sixth prompt. I think I'm going to pick one more that's not series on my 25 and 2025, just because I don't think I'm going to get to Book of Azrael this month, because technically Will of the Many is a series that is on my 25 and 2025, not just on my 25 and 2025 list, and it is a book that intimidates me. So I'm going to pick something else. Don't hate me. Nobody hates me because nobody watches my videos. So there's that. So let's go ahead and pick one more prompt. Okay, this one is a gray one. This one says, series I've been putting off. My TBR really wants me to read series. And honestly, I don't have really any other... I don't really have any other ones that I need for prompts. Anyway, you know what? Maybe I should just use the original 20 series on my 25 and 2025 one. This would have been perfect. Fall TBR pick. And now, hopefully, I'll draw that before December is over. Because, alright, we're just going to use this for Book of Azrael, because that makes sense. And I might just read the first one. Honestly, that's fine, because as long as we read the first book, then that's only 19 books. And I can do that. That's doable. So, I think that is going to be our final TBR for the prompts. So let's go ahead and go through these really quickly. Hold on one second. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through the books that I picked for the prompts this time. So seasonal pick is Falling Like Leaves by Misty Wilson. Male author is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. Is this seasonal pick? Or Spinner Wheel pick is The Autumn Leaf Bookshop by Kay Michaels. We kind of cheated a little bit with that one, but whatever. It's my TBR, my rules. Then this one was Kings and Queens, The Princess Knight by Kate Jacobs. So excited for that one. Is this one 25 and 2025? Yeah. 25 and 2025 is going to be Stephen King's Billy Summers. Hopefully we read that one. And author that intimidates me is The Will of the Many by James Ingleton. And then for the Dark Academia pick is going to be Eternal Ruin by Tejas Gurma, which is the second book in the trilogy, the Immortal Dark trilogy. And then the last prompt is series I've been putting off, which is the Book of Azrael. And I'll look up the author in just a second. Just, her name is leaving me right now. Give me 1 second. And then we will go through the new releases, because I think mostly all the other books that are on my TBR for December are new releases. So it's literally right here, Caitlin. Amber V. Nicole. So yeah, we're going to start the Book of Azrael series in November. I think we're going to do that, and I'm very excited about that. So yeah, that's it. That's the TBR. So let's go ahead and put these back. Let's go ahead and go through the rest of my TBR for November. So that's a pretty good stack there, though. I'm happy with those, because those are the ones I mostly wanted to get to. Oh, sweet. I'm off for Silent Book Club. Yeah. Because every time I have a Silent Book Club meet, I'm always working, but somebody picked up my shift, so I kept my Tuesday shift and ended up having somebody pick up my Thursday one, so that's awesome. Okay, so let's talk about all the new releases in November. I also have 2 arcs to read in November as well, so let's go ahead and talk about the arcs first, actually. One of them doesn't come out until December, but this one I'm like the most excited for, besides like 2 other fantasy releases. I cannot wait. You know what? Let's talk about the November ones first. I should talk about the December one last. So, of course, my most highly anticipated read for the rest of the year And also, since basically Onyx Storm and Sunrise and the Reaping is Brimstone by Callie Hart, and that is the second book in the Quicksilver series, everyone and their mothers are like freaking out over this release. So I'm literally so excited. I cannot wait. Not going to say anything about it if you haven't read the first one. I'm not going to read the synopsis to ruin anything or spoil anything for you. But it comes out November 18th, and you best believe I'm going to be reading it as soon as it hits midnight. I cannot freaking wait for this book. So, and yeah, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Hopefully, I don't go through it too quickly though, because for me, I like blaster books, you guys. It's like ridiculous. And then my second most anticipated release in November, I'm so excited for this one too. So excited, is Heavenly Bodies 2. I don't think it has the release date on Goodreads, but it's called Fallen Stars by Imani Iriu. I know it's coming out in November, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just look it up really quick on Google. Let's see. Fallen Stars. I don't know why they didn't update the release date on Goodreads. When is it coming out? Books 2. November 25th. Available for pre-order. This item will be released on November 25th. So this is the new cover on Barnes & Noble. So excited for this one. I love the first one. I think the first one's right behind me on my shelf behind this picture. Such a good book. Such a good book. I love it. I'm sorry, I cannot speak. I'm like, buh. And then next up is another new release, and if I do read this book, then that means that I will have finished this entire series. This one comes out November 4th. Backward. Is this a prequel though? I thought this was book 6. Is this a prequel again? I don't know if this is a prequel or a sequel, actually. If it's a prequel, I might not read it because I'm kind of done with this series. Backward as forward. Prequel? Because it says book 0. It is a prequel that tells the story of Tobias Hawthorne and Hannah, focusing on the enemies to lovers' tragic romance and their connection to the events that set up the main series. I don't know if I'm really going to read that. You know what? It comes out November 4th, but I already read Games Untold, which is a collection of short stories in the Inheritance Games series. So this is what the cover looks like. Really pretty. And it has like a sprayed edge, which is really nice too. But honestly, I might swap this book out for book 2 in the Book of Azrael series. Because honestly, I don't know if I really want to read this. Because I thought it was finishing the series. I thought this was a continuation after book 4. Because a lot of people aren't a fan of book 4. But it's a prequel, and literally they told their story in Games Untold. It was like a 200-page short story. It was like literally like a whole ass novella in the Games Untold short stories collection. And I feel like I got enough from their story reading that I don't know if I want to read this one. But it comes out November 4th if you were interested. But I think I'm going to take this off and just read the Book of Azrael because I really want to read those instead. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that'll be 19 books. That'll be perfection. Okay. So I think I'm just going to leave it at that because that makes a lot more sense. And then there's 2 other physical books that I'm adding in just a second. But I just want to talk about actually 3 more physical books that I'm adding before I go through the rest of the new releases. So give me a second. We're almost done with the new releases. We have 2 more that I'm very excited for. So the next one I also forgot that was coming out, but this one I'm definitely reading because this one is a continuation of a series and I'm very excited for this book. So I read Nightweaver, which is the first book by R.M. Gray. It's right up there where Throne of the Fallen is. You can't even see it. Literally right up there, right above Throne of the Fallen on this stack here. I love it. It's so good. So the second book, Star Chaser, is coming out November 6th. So I'm very excited for this book as well. I'm probably just going to be reading new releases the whole first week of November. I might read my arc first though, because I'm so excited for that book. And then I'll probably just read what's coming out after that. Actually, if I'm not reading what's it called? The Same Backward as Forward, I might read something else. But we'll figure that out. I'll probably just read like the Autumn Store Bookshop or something. I think it's called the Autumn Leaf Bookshop, not the Autumn Store. Why do I keep on saying Autumn Store? Actually, I think Eternal Ruin comes out the 4th, so I'll probably just read I'm gonna have to read one of those two. I'll probably just read Star Chaser and then Eternal Ruin, one right after the other. So yeah, that's another new release. And then the last three, so the next one, like I think I already mentioned this one, but this is the second book in the Kiss of the Basilisk. It's called the Split or Swallow series. I can't believe she called it the Split or Swallow series. So the second one is called Between Two Kings by Lindsay Strobe. I'm definitely 100% reading this one. And it comes out November 11th. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be buddy reading it with Becca and Felicia because we both read the first one. We all read the first one. And that book is wild. But doesn't mean I'm not excited for the second one. I cannot wait. It's going to be so fun. And I'm not reading the synopsises for any of these because most of these books are sequels that are coming out. And again, since they're sequels, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. And then the last sequel that's coming out in November, and then there's one that's an arc that's coming out in November that I want to read, and then there's another arc that's coming out in December that I want to read, is The Strength of the Few, which is the second book in the Hierarchy series. So the first book is The Will of the Many. The second book is The Strength of the Few by James Angleton, and I really want to read this one as well. And this one also comes out November 11th, so there's quite a few books coming out the first week or two of November. But then Brimstone's having her own moment. She comes out November 18th, so very excited for that. But I've heard that the cliffhangers in both of these books are absolutely brutal, and they said the second one is just as bad as the first one. So I don't know if that might just make me put it off, but also I might not want to because I have a feeling I'm going to absolutely love these books, but also I have extremely high expectations for The Will of the Many because, like I said, I've only heard amazing things about it. Okay, and then the first arc that I want to read is Sophie Cousin's new book, and it's called And Then There Was You. And this one is a romance arc that I received, I think, a couple of weeks ago. And this one comes out November 18th as well. It does come out the same day as Brimstone, but I'm going to be reading this before November 18th anyway, because I want to read it before it comes out, obviously, because it's an arc. So I'll probably just read it like a week before it comes out. But I love Sophie Cousin's books, so I'm very excited for that one. And then the last arc that I want to read I'm going to read it in November still, and I'm probably going to read it as the first book that I read in November, because I'm really excited for it. I technically already started it. I read like the first chapter, but I cannot wait to read this book. And that is The Rebel and the Rose by Catherine Doyle. And this is the second book in the City of Fantôme. I believe this is going to be a trilogy. I'm not quite sure. So far, only 2 books are like announced, because obviously the first book is called The Dagger and the Flame, and that came out last September, and I loved it. It was so good. I'm so excited for the second book. So this one comes out December 2nd, but I think I'm going to read this November 1st. I literally cannot wait to read this book. I don't think there's any other books then I really direly need to read the beginning of November, except for that one, because that one I'm like dying to read. So I'll just read that one before Star Chaser and Eternal Ruin come out, and then I'll just read all of those new releases the first week of November. And then there are 3, I think that's it for the new releases. Yes, those are all the new releases that I want to read. I'm going to take off the same backward as forward because I don't think I'm going to read it. It's just, the series has become a little bit too long for me. It's not like I haven't read the original series, and I think I'm just done with it. I think I'm going to DNF the series. Okay, then we have 3 more books that I want to add. So, why can't I find the other one? I know I'm adding this one. Oh. Anyway, they're both really pretty books. So the first one is For Whom the Bell Tolls by J.C. Lynn. I've been seeing this book literally everywhere. And one of my favorite bookstagrammers raves about this book. She listened to the audiobook, I think like 2 months ago. And all she does is post reels about her reactions to this book. And she has so many, like, spoiler reels, but she literally puts it, like, in the very beginning, like, don't watch this if you don't want to be spoiled. And then one of my friends messaged me and asked me if I was going to read this book. And we have been friends for a really long time. We literally met online. Like, we've never actually met in person, but I've been friends with him for, like, 20 years, I think. And he just, like, randomly sends me, like, reels on Instagram of, like, funny book reels and stuff. But literally this was the only book that he asked me that I was going to read. And I'm like, now I kind of want to get it. And also, since one of my favorite bookstagrammers raves about this book, and literally, I think the day that I picked up this book, she posted on her stories that she went to meet the author the same day that I picked up this book. And I'm like, I didn't even see it until like hours later when I got home, and I messaged her and I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. I hope you had a great time. I hope it was a great experience, and I'm going to read this book soon. And the only reason why I picked up this book is because of how much you rave about it. And one of my other friends asked me to read it. She's like, I hope you love it. And she was like, it was one of my dreams come true. And I was like, that is so crazy that you literally met the author the same day that I went and picked up the book. And also, I was just going to pick up the paperback, but then one of the employees told me about the special edition. She's like, did you see the special edition? I'm like, no, show me. So it has sprayed edges. Look at these edges. It's so freaking beautiful. And then I didn't show this on my Instagram stories yet because I really didn't pick up that many books recently. I'm trying not to. This is like the last new book that I've picked up recently, besides like the 2 or 3 books that I picked up from Comic-Con. And then look at the end papers. It says help desk, and it's spelled like hell. So it kind of reminds me of like Beetlejuice. And then the back has these other designed end papers on it. So I'm very excited for this one. I believe this is a hell fantasy, which I am super excited for. And then the inside hardcover is really pretty too. And then the back says, together they walked toward hell. So very excited for this book. So that is another one that I'm going to be adding. And then the other one, this one actually came out at the end of September, but I wanted to read this in November because I want to read this a little bit before the 4th book comes out in the Like Lark series, and that is Grim and Oro. So I did pick up this book, I think, at the beginning of October. So it hasn't been that long since I've had it, but this book is so gorgeous, you guys. So this is Grimm's side, and then this is Oro's side. And then these are like the stunning end papers on it. So this is Grimm's here, and then this is Oro's end papers. It's so, sprayed edges, not end papers, but these are Grimm's end papers. So gorgeous. And then when you flip it over, these are Oro's end papers. Like, so stunning. She knocked it out of the park with this packaging. literally so gorgeous. And I kind of like that Alex Astor makes regular editions of books so beautiful, and also special edition books are so expensive that she's making it more affordable for people that, you know, like are teenagers and don't want to beg their mom for like an $100 book. This is like $25, you know? This is what books should be at $25 because that's so expensive, you know? So this is Grimm's side and the inside art, and then this is Oro's side. So just really, really nice. I love it. So I'm definitely adding this one. I'm probably going to read Grimm's side first, and then I'll be ready for Crown Tide. So very excited for that. That one also comes out in December, but we're not going to talk about that until December's TBR. And then the last book that I'm adding is one that I did get from Comic-Con. And I did get it signed, so I think I'm going to put this one in its place for a little while. I was originally going to read this, really quick, I was going to read this month, called What Fury Brings by Trisha Levenseller, and I also got this book signed by Trisha Levenseller at Comic-Con, right in the inside. But I've heard that this book is hella dark, like really dark, like, and I also bought Alchemized at Comic-Con, and I don't know if I'm reading this in December. This thing is a freaking brick, though. I might just read this over the last 2 months of the year. I might just start the audiobook and see where it takes me. I don't even know. But this one I'm going to put off or just hold off on because I don't necessarily really want to read it at this time. But I do want to read the last book that I need to read in the Crowns and Nyaxia series. So Carissa Broadbent also signed this one, and I did pick up a physical copy of this at Comic-Con. Let me just see if there's anything. Oh, that is so pretty. This is why I pick up her hardcovers, because her hardcover insides are so pretty. So I picked up Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent, and I did meet her, and she was so sweet. But I wanted to buy this so she could sign it. She also signed my Songbirds in the Heart of Stone copy that I brought with me, because that was the only one I had time to grab before I went, because I didn't even know I was going on Sunday. And then one of my friends had an extra pass. I hopped on the train, and the only reason why I went is to meet Carissa Broadbent and other authors that were there, but mainly to meet Carissa Broadbent. And then she signed this one as well. So I'm going to be adding this one. This one I should have read already, but we're adding 3 more fantasy books to the November TBR. And like I said, this is the last one that I have to read in the Crowns and Nyaxia series. I'll probably just read it on my Kindle because I usually read all of them on my Kindle, but I just pick up the physical books. But this is what this one looks like. There's a sword on the front, so pretty. And then this is the back, and it says, "To think I let such a dangerous creature sleep beside me every night." I love this series so much. I'm so excited. I haven't even read the synopsis, and I'm not going to because I've been wanting to read this book for a while. So I'm glad after meeting her was the push that I needed to actually read it. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. Give me a second. You guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at TBW819 and check out my Goodreads and my TikTok for more book content. I review every single book on my Goodreads and also post my monthly wrap-ups on TikTok. And also I've been trying to post a little bit more, but I haven't had any time. And also I needed to film my TBR video today, so that took priority. I'm going to try and rearrange this cart a little bit now and fit like the other books that aren't read into the TBR cart. But yeah, we've been getting like a lot of these books down, so I'm very excited about that. And since I'm adding another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books, and then of course I'm picking up Brimstone as soon as it comes out. I have no room for it, but we're gonna find room for it because I need to own that book, obviously, and I also need to own Fallen Stars, so we'll figure it out, alright? So I hope you guys have a great day and keep reading. Bye!
Okay, so hi. So I have a couple things to add to this video because, you know, when I film these, I always forget half the things I want to say in them. So we are going to be taking off 1 book off of my TBR for this month. For November, it's literally October 31st, so happy Halloween, everyone, when I'm filming this clip. Because I'm going to read Grimm and Oro by Alex Astor. I'm going to read it right before Crown Tide comes out in December. Because if I hadn't gotten the arc for The Rebel and the Rose to read in November, because I'm dying to read that. I'm literally reading that right after I read Curses in Cold Brew, which is like a Halloween novella that I really want to read today. And it's like really short, so I don't have to worry about finishing it because I have the audiobook for it and the audiobook's only like 3 hours. So I'm gonna read like as much as I can before I go out tomorrow, and then I'm just gonna listen to it driving to my friend's place. But anyway, we're gonna take Grim and Oro by Alex Astor off of the TBR for November, and we're just gonna read it right before Crown Tide comes out December 2nd. Because I realize in December, besides Crown Tide and Sweet Venom, which is the second book by Rena Kent in the Beautiful Venom series, those are really the only two new releases that I'm reading in December. There's really everything is coming out in November that I really want to read. But I forgot to talk about this new release that came out in October. And I did actually add it to my 2025 new releases list, which I'm surprised that I did because I kind of fell off keeping that list updated for a while. But I did add this one and I forgot to talk about it in my October TBR video as a new release that came out in October, but it literally just came out like 2 days ago, and that is Never Ever After by Sue Lin Tan. And I really want to read this right after I read The Rebel and the Rose by Catherine Doyle, because that's like my most anticipated read besides Brimstone and Fallen Stars, like I said before in this video. So I really want to read this in November. And also, this might be a potential book club pick for my Apple Girlies book club pick, because I didn't say what we picked to read in November because I don't even know what we are reading in November. So I will put up an updated clip if we do get something picked in November. I'm hoping it's one of the books that are on my TBR, but honestly, like, I don't know if I'm going to have time to read a book club pick with them in November. I'm not really sure yet because it's the holidays and it's Thanksgiving, and I just want to stick to like all the books that I really want to read before the year is over. But one of my other Apple Girlies did finish the book that we read, which was The Intruder by Frida McFadden. I finished it like last week, but one of the other girlies finished it like a couple days ago, and then the other girly that's in our book club is going to finish it tomorrow, but one of the other girlies didn't read it, and she's like my favorite person that works at Apple, and she didn't end up reading it. So I'm not sure if we're picking something for November, so I'm not really sure yet. But anyway, this book is gorgeous. Look at this. It is so beautiful. I shared it on my Instagram stories, and this is the back. So, and what's funny is that this book is by Sue Lin Tan, like I said before. She is the daughter. I said daughter because she wrote Daughter of the Moon Goddess. And she wrote that duology that I still have sitting on my TBR that I have not read yet. I'm going to read this first. So, yeah, make it make sense. I really do want to read Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I might get to that next spring, to be honest, because this one's only 353 pages, so I really want to read this right after Rebel and the Rose because I'm going to be on a fantasy kick now. So we're going to read that. And then also, I did forget to mention one more new release that's coming out in October. And I thought this was book 3 in this series, and I did just mention that I was going to read the first book this month with Becca. It was going to be our buddy read. But the second book, it's technically the second book because the second book that came out is technically a prequel. So book 1, can I speak? Book 1 is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree, which is my male author prompt and also a buddy read with Becca. But the prequel is called Bookshops and Bone Dust, but that came out after Legends and Lattes. So Legends and Lattes came out in 2022. And Bookshops and Bone Dust came out in November of 2023. And then there's apparently like a little novella that came out June 7th of 2022. So that came out, I think, the same day as the first book, which is a little weird, but whatever. I'm just reading the first book in November, but also there is the second book that's coming out in November as well. So this is the second book, technically. The prequel is called Bookshops and Bone Dust. So the second book is called Bridgerton's. I'm not sure if I'm saying this right. Bridgerton's and Bread Knives by Travis Baldree. So this is the cover, like so freaking cute. And this one comes out November 11th of 2025. I am not going to read this though in November because I don't know. Unless I get obsessed with the series, but honestly, I feel like it's a series I could probably read over the course of like a month or two. I probably don't have to read all of them back to back to back because, like I said, Legends and Lattes is going to take me like a day to read because it's like the shortest book that I have on my TBR in November. Because, like I said, it's only like 280 pages. So, besides that, that's the last new release that I didn't mention. The reason why I didn't mention is because I wasn't going to get to it to read it, but also I usually do mention new releases that I want you guys to know about, regardless if I read them or not, or if I'm planning to read it or not. I still tell you guys about it. So, anyway, this one comes out the 11th. I don't think I'm even going to get to Legends and Lattes before this one comes out, though, because, like I said, I'm pretty much only going to be reading new releases for the first week or two of November. Because, like I said, I'm going to be reading Rebel and the Rose. Then I'm doing Never Ever After. Then Eternal Ruin comes out. Then Star Chaser comes out. And then when does Fallen Stars come out? I think that comes out more towards the end of the month because I'm pretty sure it comes out after Brimstone. I think Between Two Kings might be. Oh my god, I forgot that this release date was not on Goodreads. I think it comes out like the 25th. So Fallen Stars will possibly be my Thanksgiving read. I don't think I'm going to have like a food themed book to read during Thanksgiving, but I might just read like my cozy fall books then. Like Falling Like Leaves or the Autumn Leaf Bookshop, like books that, or Legends and Lattes, like all books that are like really short that I don't have to worry about like finishing because they're super short. So, anyway, when is this coming out? Fallen Stars comes out November 25th. Yeah, I was right. So, when does Between Two Kings come out? Maybe I will be able to read it after Star Chaser. Depends on when Becca wants to read it too. Oh, Between Two Kings comes out November 11th as well. So, if I read Rebel and the Rose, Never Ever After, Eternal Ruin, and Star Chaser, then that'll be like the 8th. So I probably could read Legends and Lattes right before Between Two Kings comes out, because then I'm going to be reading that, obviously. I'm not really sure. We'll figure it out. But I'm definitely going to be reading those 4 books first. Rebel and the Rose, Never Ever After, Eternal Ruin, and Star Chaser. So all new releases anyway. So yeah, that's it. I will come back if there is a book club pick, but I don't think there's going to be, but we'll see. So yeah, maybe we'll pick one of the books that is on my TBR already. So yeah, bye.